Welcome back, everybody, to the Eden of Grisaia. Here we are, the day of the big operation. Girls are getting into place, and now Sakaki. As many of her field agents were struggling with their doubts and fears, Sakaki Yumiko was sitting alone in the houseboat with her headphones on, listening to music on her laptop. Everyone was preparing for combat. This was an absolutely crucial period of time. And for that very reason, it was important to rest when she had the chance. The gentle melodies flowing into her ears were immensely soothing. When she focused on them, it almost felt as if the chaotic events that would soon be unfolding were already a thing of the past. But just as Yumiko was starting to relax in earnest, she noticed a peculiar sound underneath the music. It almost felt like a quiet voice was whispering something to her through her headphones. Was it just her imagination? She thought she could hear someone resentfully speaking the word senpai. She'd heard the absurd old urban legends about cursed CDs and such, but surely there had to be some other explanation. Straining her ears, she tried to focus on the peculiar sound. Letting out a shriek that she wouldn't have believed herself capable of producing, Yumiko tumbled backward out of the chair she'd been seated in. Oh my god. That would have scared the living daylights out of me. Tangled up in a jumble of intense emotions and headphone wires, Yumiko struggled just to speak coherently. But by the time she forced out the phrase, "Good Lord," her mind had finally managed to resume something resembling functional activities. Lifting herself up off the floor where she'd been lying on her back like a wrestler who'd been hit with the German suplex, she hurriedly pulled her skirt back into place. Being called plain and boring all the time had started to get under her skin. Perhaps it was a bit silly to start off by changing her underwear, but no one had the right to mock her for trying. If Yumiko wants to wear a thong, then so be it. Clearing her throat, she tried to push these thoughts from her mind. Then why in God's name hadn't she said so in the first place? Additions.
余計な仕事が増えるという意味ではありません。これまで通りの最適なプラン A、ベストを捨てたベターなプラン B の他に、さらに条件の厳しくなったプラン C、さらには徐々に配線の色が濃くなるプラン D、いろいろなものを諦めて最優先事項のみに集中するプラン E、そして最悪ともいえるプラン F まで、とりあえず6通りのプランを用意しました。
まあでしょうね。人員、機材、時間を考慮すればそれこそいくらでもプランは立てられる。
中には誰かを犠牲にしてでも目的を達するプランもあります。他時には最善どころか次次善を捨てるケースもあるでしょう。犠牲を出す前にミッションフェイルドのタイミングを決めるのはあなたに一任します。つまり作戦は立案するし、状況に応じてミッションのアペンド指示は出しますが、それに従うか否かはあなたの判断に委ねますということです。
あなたはアナライザーでありアドバイザーであって命令はしないということね。
その通り。所詮私は機械です。機械の出す答えというのはいつだってその時はそれが最善だったという結果になりがちです。
That's why AI is so hard to program to make it behave like a human.
多くの意味を含めた遺恨を残さないという意味でも、最後は現場の人間の判断に委ねるのが一番間違いがありません。
遠回しな説明はいらないわ。結局はどんな結果になろうと現場指揮官の私の責任ということでしょ。今朝みんなを送り出す時に訓示をしたのだけれど、私も同じようなことをみんなに言ったわ。イリスさんに松島さん、周防さんに小峰さん、 それぞれが自己の責任において行動しているように、私は私の責任で指令を出します。あなたのせいにはしないから安心して。
そう。では新しく追加されたプラン C から F までの概要はあなたのパソコンに転送しておきます。
ねえタナトスさん、あなた途中でいなくなるの？
あら、気がついた？
What?
プランはできるだけ単純に2通りって絞ったのに、今の段階になってプランを増やして、しかもそれを私に説明しておく必要って、あなたがいなくなる以外で何かある？こうしてわざわざ連絡してきて、タナトスシステムには依存するな、全ては自己判断だと釘を刺したのもあなたがいなくなるからでしょ。
その可能性もあるというだけの話よ。必ずいなくなると決まっているわけではないわ。忘れていないとは思うけれど、今こうしてあなたと会話している私はタナトスシステムの一部です。いつ私の行動がメインシステムに発見されて停止させられるか分かりません。
待って、その情報私聞いた？
どの情報？
あなたがタナトスシステムの一部だという話は聞いていたけれど、今回の行動がメインシステムの認知していない行動で発覚すれば阻止されるという話は聞いてないわよ。
国家の危機に対して美浜の学生たちを利用するなんてプロポーズが認可されるはずないじゃない。当然メインのシステムには内密だし、もし発覚すれば作戦の即時中止と私の停止命令が出ます。
Wow.
そんな大事なことを。
別に隠すつもりはなかったし、聞かれたら答えるつもりだったわ。それに私がいなければ何もできないわけでもないでしょ。事実、私がいなければ何もしなかった？
それは。
私が健在なうちは出せる情報と提案は出します。けれど私がいつまでも健在だとは思わないことと、私を信用しすぎないこと。言った通り、電子制御に頼りすぎれば必ずミスが出ます。私にできることは情報の収集、分析、そして提案、この3つだけ。メインシステムが国家を手足とするように、サブシステムである私の手足があなたたちということ。そして時には頭で考えるより体が先に動くこともある。お分かり？
ええ。
そんなに不安そうにしなくても、私との連絡がつかなくなることを織り込んだプランも用意してあるわ。ちなみにプラン D では電車を逃走に使用するケースが考慮されているけれど、さすがの私でも信号切り替えや乗り入れは人間が操作しているからコントロールはできないわ。それと万が一タナトスシステムがヒースオスロの手に落ちたりしたような場合は。
Wait, didn't she control traffic signals earlier when Amane was driving? Could have sworn she did.
間違っても私を助けようなどとは思わないこと。いい？今回の作戦で切り捨てていいものがあるとすれば、それは私だけ。わかった？
スオさんはあなたを見捨てることに大反対するでしょうね。
それを言いくるめるのもあなたの仕事よ。
嫌な仕事ね。
だからいいお給料がもらえるのよ、司令官って。
ソウが一番気楽だって言われてるわけが分かった気がするわ。
You have more fun as a follower, but you make more money as a leader, right? What are you doing? At the same time this conversation was taking place, Shima Michiro was waiting in the park where her meeting would take place, staring intently at a housewife who was walking her dog. The job itself was a simple errand. She just had to be in a certain place to receive certain items from a certain person. Location wasn't an issue. It was a public park with plenty of foot traffic, so she probably wasn't going to get shot dead on the spot. That said, the person she was waiting for was an employee of Yuji's company. From what she'd heard, it sounded like the kind of place that went out of its way to hire people with lots of skeletons in their closet. So the person she'd be meeting here almost certainly had some kind of ugliness in their past. More to the point, she was here to pick up the belongings of a wanted man from this possibly dangerous person. It was easy to imagine how things could go wrong. The longer she spent turning these thoughts around in her mind, the more everything around her started to look suspicious. By this point, she managed to become outright paranoid.
怪しい。あの犬連れたおばちゃん怪しい。ちょっと少しは落ち着きなさいよ。君すごい汗だよ。きっとあのおばちゃん工作員だ。犬の散歩に見せかけて私のことずっと監視してるんだ。何を根拠に。だって犬の散歩なのにあのおばちゃんずっと犬を抱っこしてる。変、絶対変。あれじゃ散歩の意味ない。まあ言いたいことはわかるけど、そういう人もいるって。きっとあの手に下げたビニール袋の中にコルトを隠してるわね。そんで私が少しでも隙を見せたらズドンってする気だよ。間違いない。ビニール袋の中身は犬の排泄物だと思うけどな。じゃあきっとその犬のうんちを私に投げつけて殺す気だ。落ち着きなさい。確かに死にたい気持ちにはなるかもしれないけれど死にはしないから。じゃあなんでずっと私のことじっと見てるの？
Because you're doing the same.
青い顔して冷や汗だらだら垂れ流しながらずーっと独り言をブツブツ言ってるからじゃない？そのうち通報されるわね。パトカーと救急車どっちが迎えに来るのかしら。何よそれ。あ、車が来たわ。
Oh, are they here?
パトカー、救急車、どっち？同じものが見えてるくせに。わかってるわよ。ちょっとボケてみただけじゃん。
A dingy white van had pulled up to the curb just outside the park. Blue letters on its side spelled out the name of a certain janitorial company, the public face of Yuji's employer. The sight of small white automobiles like this one tended to bring back some unpleasant memories from its room. But in any case, it seemed that person she was waiting for had finally arrived.
どうしよう。ちょっと怖い。どうする？私が行こうか。いい。なんか最近頼ってばっかだったし。
It's good, Michiro.
自分で
Proud
行
of you.
く。そう。じゃあ頑張って。
Everything was going to be fine. She was, after all, a tsundere. That meant no one could resist her charms. Nothing could compete with the power of tsundere. Take the domestic cat, for example. This was an animal with no real redeeming features, except for its own cuteness. How, one might ask, had such a creature not have been wiped out long ago? The answer was simple. Cats survived because they were tsunderes. Perhaps it wasn't especially dignified for human beings to lower themselves to felines' levels in order to make their way through this cold, hard world. But the way she saw it, her life hadn't been too bad after she'd chosen to take on her current role. And so Matsushima Michiru's faith was firm. The power of tsundere would see her through.
ちょっと、あんたが運びや。
おい、年上に向かってあんたとなんだこれ。
Matsushima Michiru's faith was shaken. Within the first 3 seconds of this conversation, her rock-solid belief in tsundere supremacy had given way beneath her. She was so terrified that she wanted to cry. Suddenly overwhelmed by the anxiety that had been building up inside her for some time, Michiru retreated inside her own mind, forcing her other self to take over.
言ったそばからか。
なんだ、何をブツブツ言ってやがる。
Ueda.
ごめんなさい。私、海外が長かったから、日本語って苦手なのよね。
まあいいさ。年下のくせに年上をあんた呼ばわりするやつは他にも心当たりがある。そういう生き方しかできないやつがいるのも分かってる。
荷物を持ってきてくれた？
ああ、いつも通り後ろの荷室に入ってるよ。
どれがそうなの？なんだか荷物だらけでよくわからない。
めんどくせえなもう。 つかお前も荷物受け取りに来たなら作業服ぐらい着てこいよ。目立って仕方がねえだろうが。
私に言われたって知らないわよ。私はただここで荷物を受け取れって言われてきただけだもの。
ほらこれだよ。アルミのケースとリュックサック。
あら、ご親切にありがとう。
I have a feeling something's going wrong. Something's gonna happen. This isn't gonna go as smoothly as all that.
受け取ったらさっさとどっか行け。これ以上目立ちたくない。
何も聞かないのね。
Shut up.
お前が荷物受け取るのが仕事なのと同じで、俺は荷物を届けるのが仕事だ。それ以外のことは聞かないのがルールだし、聞きたくもないね。どこの誰が出したかもわからない上からの命令は、9029の荷物を指定の場所に届けろだ。それ以外はお前がどこの人間だろうが俺の知ったこっちゃない。
Alright, that's fair.
そう。
というのは、ま、建前だな。事情は大体察してる。おもちゃが必要なんだろ。
さあ、それこそ私は荷物の中身が何なのかすら知らないわ。
ま、細かいことはどうでもいい。9029にはよろしく言っといてくれ。
With that parting remark, the man climbed back into his van and drove off down the street.
よろしくだって。よろしくって言われてもな。私今の人の名前も知らないのに。
Michelle had basically been telling the truth. She didn't know much, and she probably couldn't have explained the things she did know particularly well. Had that man been completely on the company's side, he might have taken her into custody as a suspected accomplice of Kazami Yuji. But they probably wouldn't have gained any accurate information from questioning her, even if they subjected her to torture that could break a well-trained soldier, or injected her with truth serum. They wouldn't have changed a thing. Michelle just didn't understand the details of the plan, and she couldn't tell them what she didn't know. It was a slight unnerving thought, but maybe that was part of the reason the Thanatos system had chosen her for this specific mission.
私みたいな生き方って辛いと思う？いいえ、随分と楽に生きてるなって思うわ。だよね。
She mumbled those words to herself in a self-depreciating tone of voice. Michelle hefted Yuji's surprisingly heavy rucksack onto her back, and then lifted up the hefty aluminum case. The handle dug sharply into her fingers. What the heck's inside this thing anyway? She was a bit curious, to be sure, but it probably wasn't the best idea to open it up. Odds were there's some kind of a gun in there, like a Colt or whatever. Not that she knew anything about that stuff. I'm gonna explain this if I run into a policeman or something. Trying her best not to think about it, she set off for the place where she'd be meeting with Amane. The rendezvous point was in the same ward and hadn't looked that far away on the map, but Michelle only managed to maintain a normal pace for the first 10 minutes or so. The main problem was the sheer weight of this aluminum case. When she held it in one hand, the handle would bite painfully into her fingers, and her whole arm would eventually go numb. But when she tried to hold it in both hands, it was almost impossible to walk without constantly banging her legs into the thing. The best way was to periodically shift it from one hand to the other. After 15 minutes of this, she found herself putting the case down to take a breather after every 10 steps or so. And when she started to feel the faint because of all the sweat she was shedding, she had to pause to buy herself a drink from a vending machine. Just as she was starting to reach the very limits of her rather limited endurance, her eyes found a familiar pair of oversized breasts waiting in the distance. And she teared up with the sincere joy of a traveler who found their way to an oasis.
重かった。お疲れ。どう？荷物無事に受け取れた？なんか思ってたより簡単に受け取れたけど、ここまで運んでくるのが一番大変だった。つうか、ユージのバカはよくこんなものを持って歩くわね。まあ、ユージの場合、40キロぐらいの荷物を背負って山の中を20キロぐらい歩くのが仕事だからね。思ったけど、軍人って絶対にマゾだよね。っていうか、そっちはどうなの？特装車ってどんな車？まさか戦車みたいなやつ？
どこに止めたの？
いや、普通にあんたの後ろに止まってるじゃん。それだよ。
後ろってこれのこと？
うん、そう。
To be sure, there was a motor vehicle parked on the street behind Michiru. The design was rather advanced in its own way, but to her eyes it seemed as ominous as evil as a cursed artifact unearthed from some ancient tomb. She was sweating again. It had nothing to do with the exercise she just endured.
もう一度聞くね。本当にこれなの？
だって他にないでしょ?
With a smile that seemed oddly sinister, Amane held up a leather keychain with the manufacturer's logo and let the keys jingle against each other. Hold on a second, am I actually crying right now?
とりあえず荷物車の中に置いちゃいなよ。少し遅くなっちゃったけど、お昼のお弁当食べよっか。
Michiru had almost said something, but she chose to swallow her words instead. They traveled slowly down her throat, along with a wad of spit that felt like a rock. Lunch. Yes, that sounded like a good idea. Well, she had tasty food in her mouth, at least. She could be happy. She could forget all about the bad things. By the time she finished, perhaps she'd be ready to face the prospect of getting into this thing. Please, Lunchbox, give me courage. With that silent, enduring entreaty, Matsushima Michiru began to eat. What a tease, not showing us the vehicle. Aw, man. We're probably going to see it eventually, but... Wars are fought by human beings. But on the battlefield, the decisions of individual people never carry much weight. It takes real courage to do the right thing. But for most of the dropouts and delinquents in the U.S. Marine Corps, courage was just another word for recklessness. Or so it had always seemed to Miliella Stanfield.
なあ、ミリー、まずは聞いてくれ。これはまずい。
Hello? That's a face we haven't seen in a long time.
なんだよ、いつも私に色目を使っちゃいいよって来たのはあんたの方だろ？嬉しくねえのかよ。
いや、実際こうしてお前とそういう関係になれるのは嬉しい。こんなに嬉しいのはお袋の使いで行ったコンビニで何気なく買ったくじで10万ドルを当てた時以来だ。
My God, you're a pilot. Is that really the best example you got?
けどな、今はまずい。知ってるだろ？俺はこの後飛ばなきゃなんねんだって。遅れたらシャレにならねえ。
分かってるよ。でも飛ぶのは14時からだろ。30分前に待機所に入るにしてもまだ15分もあるじゃねえか。
15分しかねえんだよ。だいたいなんで今なんだ？夜だっていいだろうが。そうすれば何もこんな場所でしなくてもいいわけだしよ。
It's a freaking toilet. I mean, that's nasty.
悪いな。私は便所の方が興奮するんだよ。それに夜になったら気分が変わってるかもしれねえじゃん。
いや、でも俺行かないと時間が
ないから急いでるんだろうが。ほら、さっさと脱げよ。
Damn, she wants it. The eternal struggle.
お、目つき変わったな。どうする？残り時間は10分だ。
もういいや。
ああ、全然 OK。
The man had been blatantly lusting after Miliella for a long time. For all his protests, pushing him into the bathroom stall hadn't exactly been difficult. And as far as she knew, there was only one straight man in the world who responded to an officer like this by calling her an idiot and walking back out the door.
待てろ、すぐだ。今すぐ脱ぐから。
Tossing his WEP jacket to the floor, the man pulled down the zipper on his tightly fitted flight suit and began to wriggle impatiently in an attempt to slip his way out of it. As he thrashed around like a bug trying to escape his chrysalis, Miliella glanced at the helmet bag sitting on the ground at his feet.
大丈夫。そんなに慌てなくてもすぐだよ、すぐ。
あ、くそ、それが引っかかって。おい、メリー、引っ張ってくれ。
The toilet stall was on the smaller side. There wasn't enough room for a man of his size to easily take off a jumpsuit. His arms jutting out awkwardly behind him like a pro wrestler in a chicken wing hold, the man appealed to Miliella for help.
バカだな。女に誘われて飲み屋の便所に入った時は絶対に背中向けちゃダメだって。
は？お前何言って。
Oh man, she got him.
女を信用しちゃダメだって。特に私みたいな女はね。
That's the lesson of the day, kids. Don't trust women, especially a woman like her. Just kidding. Her woman was the bag he left lying on the floor. The helmet inside was significantly larger and heavier than a normal one. Smacked in the back of the head by a piece of equipment designed to protect him, the large man lurched forward and then collapsed against the wall.
でないと大事なものを全部持っていかれてパンツ一丁で発見される羽目になるんだ。
Oh boy, that would suck. Even as she spoke, Miliella, I know I keep mispronouncing her name every time I say it, partly for humor, retrieved a number of nylon zip ties from the pockets of her own uniform, which she'd earlier tossed aside. These were typically used to organize the essential wires inside aircraft. They didn't look like much, but they could resist a good 200 kilos of force. Hoisting the unconscious man up off the floor, she sat him down on the toilet, then tied his hands together behind his back and bound them to the water pipe. This alone would prevent him from standing, but Millie didn't want him thrashing around noisily either. She tied his feet together firmly, then wrapped duct tape around them and the base of the toilet.
悪いな。悪いと思ってるから財布は抜かないでおいてやる。
Forcing the man's mouth fully open, she gagged him with a rolled-up rag, then wrapped duct tape around his face to make sure it stayed in there. If one of his buddies found him like this, he'd probably be a laughingstock for the rest of his life, but you can't make an omelet without breaking an egg or two. Maybe years and years down the road, he'd look back on this humiliation as something that helped him grow as a person. Probably not, though. Grabbing the man's helmet, bag, and jacket, Millie turned and left the stall with a small smile on her face. She had received the email only 2 days before. The man she'd called Genie in a bottle, who she'd never stopped loving, had been betrayed by his own organization and was now imprisoned in an underground facility. And her former comrade Robbie, aka Robert Wilson, had been the one to inform her. He'd also mentioned that I wasn't sure if it was a good idea to tell you, honestly. The man clearly hadn't changed. His attempts at thoughtfulness were still awkward, and he still royally pissed her off. Basically, Robbie was saying, it's plainly obvious you still haven't gotten over him, even though you pretend otherwise, so I was worried how you might react. So if he'd actually been standing in front of her, Millie probably would have knocked a few of his teeth out. Of course, he had ultimately decided to tell her, so she'd almost convinced herself not to hold it against him. But then he'd added that this was because you'd probably try to kill me if you ever found out after the fact, and she'd gotten furious all over again. It was almost impressive in a way. No matter what he did or said, Robert Wilson always managed to piss her off somehow. In any case, 11 hours ago, she received a follow-up message containing instructions from a mysterious person by the name of Thanatos. The message hadn't contained any specific details concerning an overall plan or even detailed directions. If she wanted to rescue Kazami Yuji, she had to swipe the first helicopter of the afternoon. Once it was in the air, she received further instructions. That was about the extent of it. Swiping a helicopter from a military base wasn't exactly comparable to stealing a car from some city parking lot. The consequences would be severe. On this subject, Thanatos had simply noted that there's no reason we can't get you permission after the fact. This implication seemed to be that while it wasn't possible to have a physical flight order approved beforehand, they had some means of issuing one on an emergency basis once she was in the air. That sort of thing tended to work out when you just needed some emergency shortly, but this was different. There was no telling if Thanatos would actually come through. But what the hell do I care? If I gave a damn about the consequences of my actions, I wouldn't have ended up in the Marines in the first place. She already knocked out the pilot unconscious. There wasn't much point stressing out about it any longer. She had passed the point of no return. Slipping on the man's WP jacket, Millie put on his flight helmet and lowered the visor, then made her way to the ready room. As always, the day's schedule was posted on a whiteboard on the wall just outside the entrance. The words Lieutenant Alex P. had been scrawled into the P1 column for the first flight of the afternoon, along with a small triangular mark. Come to think of it, he did make first lieutenant, didn't he? Punk's got some nerve. The usual tricks were still applicable, just like scribbling your name in the off-duty base log. Sorry, off-base duty logbook. When you were about to sneak out, changing the names on the board would help her make excuses later. Quickly erasing the man's name, Lily replaced it with her own, then added the star symbol that indicated an emergency flight. Thanks to Daniel and Yuji, she'd gotten the hang of sneaking off base way back in her training period. This was all second nature to her now. Now I just need to get that thing into the air before the co-pilot shows up and gets in the front seat. Turning to look into the hangar, she spotted a small group of mechanics clustered around one of the base's helicopters, preparing it for the first flight of the afternoon. Waiting for them to finish up wasn't really an option. She needed to get in the air as quickly as possible. Unfortunately, there were currently 3 crew members tending to it: the crew chief, his assistant, and a junior technician. Punching her way through them probably wouldn't work out too well. In situations like this, the best option was to go in aggressive and push your way to a quick victory.
燃料の補給は終わってますが、武装がまだです。
緊急だ。武器はいらん。代わりに燃料を詰めるだけ詰め。230の増装を4つ。全部。4つはオーバーペイです。重くて飛べませんよ。飛べば軽くなる。ぐちゃぐちゃ言ってないでさっさとやれ。急ぎだと言っているだろ。はい。よし。
Now she just had to park her behind in the cockpit before they started asking tricky questions. Once she was inside, nobody was going to poke their head in just to make small talk. Hurrying up the ramp, Millie placed her feet on the step built into the side of the helicopter, and then stepped herself inside one leg at a time, making sure not to bang her head on the canopy. Once she slid into her seat, she proceeded to check her torso, harness, connect her G-suit hose, and confirmed that the pistol in her leg holster had its safety on. She skipped a radio check, no reason to give herself away. The bird's internal tanks were already full. As soon as the mechanics switched on the drop tanks, or touched the drop tanks, he flipped the main switch to on. First order of business was to switch the fuel line to pull for the external tanks, followed by testing the rear seat machine gun sights. Nothing felt off so far. She had a total of 4 fuel tanks now latched onto the bottom of her wings. Each one held 230 gallons of fuel. In total, they weighed 2,784 kilos. Combined with the helicopter itself, she was over 7.7 tons. Given that the machine was only rated for a max takeoff weight of 6.6 tons, it was seriously overloaded. That said, the distance from Okinawa to Tokyo was a good 1,550 kilometers. At a cruising speed of 150 knots, I hope you all write this down. I will be quizzing you later. Even if she disabled one of the twin engines, the internal tank would only take her 520 kilometers, and at max speed, she'd run dry after 280. So, how long will it take her to get to her destination? Go. A simple bit of math suggested she was about 820 gallons short of making it to the city. But by replacing the stub wing armaments with 4 of the biggest fuel tanks she could carry, she could squeeze in another 920 gallons. Dropping the empty tanks into the sea as she went would lighten her up considerably. Even with the extra drag and weight, it would be enough to get her to Tokyo with fuel to spare. Only problem was, well, that meant she'd have absolutely nothing in her weapons rack. Her only means of attack would be the 20mm Gatling cannon in the chin with a mere 750 rounds. She'd burn through that ammo in less than a minute if she held down the trigger. Given that she had no idea what lay ahead, that wasn't exactly reassuring. Then again, maybe it's for the best. Probably wouldn't go over too well if it started shooting off missiles in Japanese airspace. At this point, all she had to do was wait for the scheduled time and get her permission for takeoff. This just might actually work until it doesn't. Just as that vague thought was beginning to solidify into something like actual optimism, a siren rang out shrilly as if to mock her hopefulness. Nodding at the crew chief's orders, his assistant ran off toward the ready room. Damn, they found out already? This was not good. She didn't know the exact reason that alarm was going off, but it definitely meant bad news. She had her tanks, and the skids weren't locked to the ground. Was forcing takeoff an option? No. They still had her hooked to the fuel truck and the power cart. What now? Gritting her teeth in frustration, Millie reached for the gun in her leg holster, and in that moment the assistant crew chief came running back from the ready room, his face white with shock. Oh shit.
持つ撒き散らしてえのかてめ
Damn, she don't play around.
えやめろさっさと機動車外せぬっ殺すアブラムシいたぞこっちだくそ
Security detail armed with automatic rifles had appeared in the distance behind the maintenance crew and was now running toward her. Things were going downhill fast. She had to get in the air right now, even if it meant ripping the helicopter free of its refueling hose and charging harness. But as Millie reached for the inner level that closed the canopy, there was a sudden shower of sparks across the side of her helicopter. But she failed. If they captured her right now, well, she probably wasn't going to get off with just a few days in the brig. Might as well just roll the dice then. Nothing to lose right now, right? You're already way too deep. 5.56mm pea shoes weren't going to do much damage to a bird like this, of course. But if they calm down and start aiming for the tail rotor, well, that might be a problem. They could aim for like the fuel tanks or something. Pulling back slightly on the collective lever, she eased herself upward, lifting her skids 40 centimeters off the ground. Then grabbed the cyclic and stepped on the anti-torque pedal, pointing the helicopter's nose at the soldiers to show them the barrel of its 20mm machine gun. Problem was, the RPMs weren't where they needed to be. Something was dragging her down, specifically the hose and cables that tethered her to the equipment on the ground. If she tried to push her way up, they'd tilt her off balance and send her crashing to the ground. But just as she was beginning to seriously regret her recklessness, a large, shadowy figure appeared behind the soldiers. Oh man, it's what the hell was his name? It was God damn it. It was like that dumb guy, you know, who usually trained and, you know, really liked him and stuff. And he was like, you know, he wanted to make his family proud or whatever. The man seemed to have come out of nowhere, knocking the closest soldier to the ground with a single punch. He pinned him forcefully to the ground. Eddie, that's right. Weren't there like a bunch of dudes though? With a forceful push of the collective lever and a gentle movement of the cyclic, Millie jammed down on her anti-torque pedal. In response, the helicopter turned sharply in the air, twirling around the starter truck like a wire-controlled toy circling its base. As if fighting a strong diagonal wind from behind, she turned the tail, carefully controlling the load on its rotor blades. And surprisingly enough, the tethers quickly gave way. The scary part came after that. The helicopter lurched off balance like a kite that had been broken free of its string. As the edges of its rotor blades drew closer and closer to the ground, Millie felt a cold jolt of fear run down her spine. She couldn't let herself panic. Over-controlling would only throw a helicopter even further off balance. She had to focus on her angle and the load on her rotors, not the lurching itself. Manipulating the cyclic, she redistributed the load across the rotor blades, producing an audible change in the sound of the rotations. Quickly lowering the pitch lever, she brought her skids down briefly to the ground. But despite her best efforts on the cyclic, the helicopter proceeded to spin sharply in a circle. Through cockpit's canopy, she caught a glimpse of the gaping, frightened faces of the soldiers on the ground. They were clearly expecting her to crash. I'm not going to go down that easy, damn it! Swans might look elegant, but they're always pedaling fiercely under the surface of the water. Helicopters weren't any different. They might look like simple enough machines, but the pilots inside need to manipulate the levers with absolute precision, and every gust of wind meant you had to dance desperately on your pedals. There weren't many vehicles that required such fine control and bold decisiveness from their pilots, and it was particularly difficult to regain control once you started thrashing around at a low altitude. This close to the ground, your rated descent and airspeed weren't relevant, and the proximity warning system was useless. There was no time to think through the individual steps you needed to take. The human brain wasn't equipped to process the act of flying a machine like this. It all came down to whether you had the feel for it. In the course of those long, brutal training sessions, as the trainees struggled to hold their machines steady in the violent winds above the deck, A few would develop the ability to control their craft on reflex alone. For these people, piloting a helicopter became as natural as moving their own arms and legs. Unfortunately, Millie counted herself among their number. After a few agonizing moments, the Cobra's center of gravity settled roughly halfway between the front and rear seats. Its wild movement stabilized. By now, she'd risen perhaps 15 meters off the ground. Pressing her helmet up against the side of the canopy, she looked down at the growing crowd below. Some were holding fire extinguishers at the ready, others were pointing their assault rifles in her general direction. Of course, they probably weren't actually going to try and shoot down a U.S. helicopter in the air over their own base. Particularly given all the controversy about the V-22 lately, the last thing any one of the Marines wanted was to give the local civilians a reason to kick up a fuss about their safety. If they decided to shoot her down, it wouldn't happen until she got the bird out over sea, and she just had to trust that the Thanatos would intervene somehow before that happened. Easing the propellers into the normal cruising RPM, Millie turned the Cobra in the direction of Tokyo, then took a final glance back down at the base. The crowd was only growing larger. Near the front of the group, she could see Eddie being restrained by a number of security personnel. For the parting message the man had no way of hearing, Millie turned her stolen helicopter and flew off toward her destination.